there's also the DCF in other states. Here it's called the Department of Families. I think it's Children and Family Services or something like that. Anyway, but all of these are again ways of taking children away from in very good homes, and they put them into these foster systems, and there's money transactions going involved. Martha Dean, who ran for Attorney General and lost in Connecticut, I've spoken with her, and she's you could see from an oath keeper and the John Birch Society had a meeting in Southington 2 weeks ago, and she was there. And you can go up to the YouTube, go to Freedom First Films page, and you could see excerpts from that meeting. And I spoke with Martha, and she's a tremendous victims advocate for this. And of course lost running for Attorney General. Hopefully she'll get the opportunity next time and will win. We need a liberty-minded person like her that understands what's going on, and that's why there's a big, strong political machine in this state, and it is a democratic machine. And you know, it's very difficult, but not impossible. We can do things, but the corruption is the problem. We need people that are incorruptible. It's very hard to find. I know power corrupts, and ultimate power corrupts ultimately. But we really have to get some people that are out there to really mean liberty, really want to change this corporate system that we have here, that's in this corporate relationship with government, which is called fascism, by the way, which is over the people, when the corporate interests rule over the people. So there's unemployment. Yeah, of course there's unemployment. Well, why? Because it's better for the corporations, and they're getting their corporate profits, and everything's going. Look, let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. Look at some of the profit sheets on some of these people. It's unbelievable. Yes, there's a recession. Yes, a lot of people are out of work, and the government's bailing everyone out. These banks are hoarding all the money. They're the ones that run the debit cards that the food stamps go on. Chase and Bank of America. Wake up. This is just, the more people that go on it, the richer they get. I reported that the other day. Anyway, there are, as in from this Forbes report, there are the 147 companies that control everything. This is from the, this was great, again, from Jen Zorden, who forwarded me this information, and I shared it, and I'm sharing it with you guys. It's an unbelievable fraud when you, this is it, you know, you got to understand who owns those 147 companies that we all seem to be purchasing from. It's the same people. It's these ruling class families. Now, the way it works is, I'm going to read this because it's a short article. It's just this part of it is I'm going to go over who the banks are and who these people, who it all seeds down to. But there are three system theorists at Swiss Federal Institute of Technology in Zurich, and they've taken a database listing 37 million companies and investors worldwide and analyzed all 43,000 transnational corporations and share ownerships, linking them. Wow, they did a tremendous job. And they built a model of who owns what and what their revenues are, and mapped the entire edifice of economic power. They discovered that the global corporate control has a distinct bow tie shape, with a dominant core of 147 firms radiating out from the middle. Each of these 147 firms owns interlocking stakes of one another, and together they control 40% of the wealth of the network. A total of 737 control 80% of it all. The top 20 at the bottom are at the bottom of the post. That is to say, in the paper's author's first map of the structure of this global corporate control. So this is the way it is. This is unbelievable. The New Scientist magazine talked to one system theorist who is disconcerted at the level of interconnectedness but not surprised. Such structures occur commonly, yeah, right, in biology. Yeah, that's not biology. Things like fungus, yeah, right. Weeds, yeah, they're weeds, all right. Anyway, the Forbes article is there. You can read it. It's got a lot to do with that. But let's talk about what's in it. I mean, there's stuff in there. It's a great article. But who are these top 50 corporate owners? Well, Barclays. Barclays. Nice old British Rothschild. You know, Queen of England, you sexy Cobra Gotha. Yes, yes. And then Capital Group Companies Incorporated, FMR Corporation, AXA, State Street Corporation, JP Morgan Chase, there's the Rockies, Legal and General Group PLC, Vanguard Group, UBS AG, Merrill Lynch, Wellington Management, Deutsche Bank, Franklin Resources, you know the Franklin Funds, interesting. Swiss Credit, yeah, Credit Suisse Group, yes. Walton Enterprises, holding company for Walmart. Bank of New York Mellon, Natsis, Goldman Sachs, T. Rowe Price, Legg Mason. It goes on and on. It's incredible. All right. In other news, we have some new streetlights being put in by Homeland Security to keep us safe. And their high-tech system includes speakers, video surveillance, and emergency alerts. Ooh, how convenient. Presumably, in response, we have, let's see, new streetlights that include applications with the aid of government funding are being rolled out into, it's called IntelliStreets. Oh, how nice, IntelliStreets system. It even has a sparkling corporate name. Comprises of a wireless digital infrastructure that allows streetlights to be controlled remotely by means of a ubiquitous Wi-Fi link and a miniature computer housed inside each streetlight, allowing for security, energy management, data harvesting, and digital media, according to the Illuminating Concepts website. This is an article written by Paul Joseph Watson on Infowars.com recently on the 26th of October. Now, in terms of Homeland Security applications, each of the light poles will have a speaker system that can be used to broadcast emergency alerts. We need to know that. Got to scare us real good. You know, got to keep us in that sense of always being, you know, there's always a threat. So you always have to be careful. And then when they ask you for your papers, it's going to be normal. Everything's going to be fine. You know, and that everybody has to have these new things. I see ads for police officers. Must have verifiable ID. You know, must have chipped. It actually says it. Chip. C-H-I-P. Chip. Verifiable ID. So they want to have that GPS chip on you. You're going to be a police officer. Good luck. They're going to be following you wherever you go. They're going to know everything about you as well. Same thing with just the general population. So just think that it's about us? No. It's about you guys that are going to be put in this place to unfortunately be policing the American people for the purpose of corporate greed, fascism, and control. Because when we start freaking out, when they start taking more and more of our property and more of our rights away, you're going to have to fight us. Because we're not going to take it. At least some of us won't. And we'll be looked at as the rebels. You know, like these rebels in Libya, you know, that were looked at as the rebels that the government and NATO backed, and Al-Qaeda is now in Egypt, running the government in Egypt, and you have Al-Qaeda running the government in Libya, and the rebels are backed by, you know, they're all the same clan. It's the CIA, the Al-Qaeda. Anyway, so now Homeland Security, folks, is going to be, of course, stopping you in the streets. That came out the other day, and they're rolling it out in Tennessee to keep you safe, and they're doing it for Halloween to keep you safe, to keep the children safe. It's a good thing. It's to totally brainwash you and absolutely condition you to a police state. Wake up! I'm so fucking angry with this shit. It makes me sick. I can't even stand it anymore. And then Obama goes on Jay Leno. Oh my God. I mean, come on, people. Listen to this dumbass. President Obama defended the U.S. role in bringing down Libyan strongman Muammar Gaddafi, rejecting assessments that the international coalition he helped assemble amounted to leading from behind. We lead from the front, he told Jay Leno. Laying out an argument for his emergency foreign policy doctrine, Obama distinguished the U.S. steps in Libya from invasion and 9-year war in Iraq. He argued that by building a broad international alliance of Europe and Arab nations against Gaddafi, the U.S. saved American lives and money and achieved its goal. Oh, please. Oh, my God. This is from Cryptagon.com. Unbelievable. I can't even freaking... it just makes me sick. And then he says, not a single troop was on the ground. Not a single U.S. troop was killed or injured, and I think that's a recipe for success in the future. Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Use the opposition to kill the people. Hire the people to kill your opposition, to kill your enemies. Yeah, they've been doing that. That's what the CIA does. Okay. They're hiring them to go and occupy Wall Street and all these other things. Now they want to do an Occupy Torrington. I can't believe it. I mean, look at that for folks that I put on this video. I put a video to this. Occupy Torrington, register citizen. I mean, it's just silly, ladies. These two girls are like, I mean, I like the idea, and she's not talking about it being like a protest so much as just an awareness thing. But I mean, come on, everybody. I mean, this is stupid. Occupy Rothschild, occupy Rockefeller, occupy the criminals. Get the money back from them. Write off the trillions, the 1.7 quadrillion probably by now of derivative fraudulent debt that was created by Clinton's illegal repeal of Glass-Steagall, fraudulently allowing all this bullshit to happen with the subprime mortgage market, with the credit default swaps, and all of this nightmare. And then, of course, aiding to it, like looking like a good guy. See, this is how they do it. They do something good, but their intention is evil. And then they give these poor folks and lower income folks and minorities the opportunity to be homeowners and buy homes, make it easier for them by the Homeowner Act of 2000. Homeless prosperity, American prosperity. It's always about prosperity. It always says something. It's never going to say, we're going to fuck you and take your house and leave you out in the street and put you on the welfare system so the Rockefellers can make money off your debit cards. Come on. They don't tell you that. Nope. They sure don't. Anyway, so this grassroots movement they're trying to get here in Torrington. It's organizer Stephanie Pittock. I don't know her, but I'm going to find her. I'm going to see if I can get her get in on here and talk about what she's really thinking. She said she'd like to have a voice. Well, I'll give you a voice right here, Stephanie. But we're not going to sit in Cole Park and occupy it. You know, it's that just doesn't make any sense. This is not a place for that to occur. I mean, in the solidarity of the fact that these people in Hartford are doing it, and in New Haven, and it's getting rough over there, and there's a lot of police brutality going on with all this. You know, you're fueling a fire, everybody. You're playing into the hand of the globalists who want every excuse in the world to say that, look at this, we have to do this, we have to pass this law and that law and take away this right and that right. You know, we're going to have to limit the internet in the event of civil unrest, and we have to get an internet kill switch. We have to, you know, all this stuff Lieberman's proposing in case there's a cyber attack. Did you ever think, you know, like the whole attack that went on in Iran when they knocked out their systems? Please. That was the Stuxnet. Who do you think made the Stuxnet? Where do you think that came from? Us? Yes. That's right. What? We would do something like that? Yes. And then we would attack ourselves? Yes. It's called a false flag when you do it to yourself and you blame someone else. Yeah. Or you do it to an enemy and you blame another enemy. False flag attacks, very common. The Gulf of Tonkin, false flag attack, comes out on record 40 years later that it was a staged event and 60,000 American soldiers died and hundreds of thousands were traumatized and permanently put through systems and lost their ability to make a living. They're all, look at the Vietnam era, and they say, oh, the drug use and all that. Well, who did it? Who started the goddamn drug fucking war? The CIA, that's right, that's who did it. Who's been behind this since the beginning? It goes back to the opium wars. It goes back, it's never changed. It's the same people, and they're enslaving the population. Even Kissinger, he said that soldiers are like pawns in a game. They don't exist. He doesn't care. They don't care about you, gentlemen. You're fighting for their corporate interests, and they could give a shit about you. You come home and you're injured, and you have to raise holy hell to get health care. The fucking false flag of the 9/11, they crash buildings, the buildings collapse. Heroes are out there risking their lives and dying now who cleaned up the mess there that you sick satanic bastards cultivated. Now, the feds order YouTube to remove video for containing government criticism. I said this before. It's just unbelievable. In the United States, Google received 757 takedown order requests from its sites, and up to 70%. Oh, by the way, how you guys doing over there? And the FBI is, I know, recording this broadcast.